Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for clicking on this video. So this is a video that I landed on and I found it quite interesting. So basically the National Archive of the US is literally trying to hide and delete the history of why white people did to other groups of people, especially the horrific, the tremendous things they committed. They don't want to, show it to the world because somehow it's going to be controversial. It's not okay for people to see those things and like learn about that history that white people really did in the past. But yeah, guys, listen to this video and yeah, let me know what you think about it.
There's a fight brewing in the National Archives over the telling of American history. For the past year, the country's top archivist and her team have been removing some references to negative parts of American history from exhibits planned to open in 2025. 𝗂𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗂𝗄 and her team have raised concerns that the planned exhibits might anger Republican lawmakers and a potential Trump administration. I'm an investigative reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and my colleague and I spoke to nearly a dozen current and former archives employees, and we reviewed documents and contemporaneous notes for this story. Here are some of the changes that head archivist 𝗂𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀 and her team ordered to these exhibits. They removed prominent references to events like the World War II Japanese-American incarceration camps because they were too negative and controversial. And they requested to swap a photo of Martin Luther King Jr. marching for civil rights for former President Nixon greeting Elvis. They also removed several documents related to the U.S. government's displacement of Native American tribes from a planned exhibit about westward expansion. 𝗂𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀 asked one staffer, "Why is it so much about Indians?" Longtime employees at the National Archives have said her efforts amounted to censorship, and at least a half-dozen senior employees have stepped down in recent months. When we asked for comment, the National Archives told us that it's committed to operating without ideology or partisanship.
This is the pattern of the West. They use documents to enshrine their goodness. They make their justice and their decency official by means of official paperwork, not by their actions, not by their behavior. I mean, everyone knows that Western history, especially American history, is basically a chronology of broken promises, violated agreements, and broken treaties. Well, you can almost say that whenever they tell you on paper that they're going to do thus and so, you may as well read that as them telling you that they're going to do the complete opposite. If they say they're going to do this on paper, then that means they're going to do the opposite of that in real life. They use these documents as nothing but cover. I mean, they go ahead and do whatever it is that they want to do, but then they'll point back to the document, whether it's the U.S. Constitution or the Universal Declaration of Human Rights or the Magna Carta or what have you. They'll point to that document and say, see, we can't be doing anything wrong because it's right here in black and white that we don't do anything wrong. It says it right here. They do all sorts of crimes, all sorts of atrocities under the cover of their official declarations that they are opposed to crimes and atrocities. So they can't possibly be bad because officially they're good. It's right there in the documents. That's how they do. That's literally the purpose of their documents. That's the purpose of their declarations. They wave these documents like an advancing army waving a white flag. I'll say that again. An advancing army waving the white flag of truce, just to trick you into thinking that you're safe, that you're secure, that your rights are protected, but it's a false flag. How many agreements and how many treaties did they sign, for example, with the Native Americans, the indigenous people of North America? How many treaties and agreements did they sign? Is there even one that they didn't break? The Trail of Tears is the Trail of Tears, or was the Trail of Tears, because it's a trail of broken promises, broken treaties, and broken agreements, all of which were made with the most solemn declarations of absolute sincerity. That's how they do. That's what they've always done. They write these fictions on paper just as a tactic of misdirection. And then when the reality of their actions contradicts those fictions, then they tell you to believe what they wrote.
The crimes that were committed by the West against the rest of the peoples of the earth are their crimes and no one else's. You were responsible for the transatlantic slave trade that ripped millions upon millions of people from their homes, from their families, from their cultures, and you invented the whole concept of white supremacy to try to justify your barbarity, classifying your fellow human beings as subhuman. And when the Berlin Conference was convened in 1884, where European powers sat around a table and carved Africa up like a piece of meat, the Congo was turned into a personal plantation for King Leopold of Belgium, where 10 million Africans were worked to death, mutilated, decimated and murdered for the sake of rubber and ivory. The French, the British, the Germans, the Portuguese, all of them imposed their will on Africa, draining its resources, enslaving its people, and crushing any resistance underfoot. For over 2 centuries, those same British exploited India's wealth and turned that prosperous civilization into a land of famine and poverty. They massacred anyone who dared to rise up. Winston Churchill starved tens of millions of Bengalis. You colonized the Philippines, first the Spanish and then the Americans. You murdered over 200,000 Filipinos in a brutal war of subjugation. From Guatemala to Chile, from Nicaragua to Haiti, the people of Latin America have suffered under the weight of American imperialism, and their struggles for liberation are always met with bullets and bombs and death squads. The indigenous peoples of America were hunted like animals. Their lands were stolen, their cultures erased. Their children were ripped away from their arms in a policy that they called assimilation, that sought to erase their culture, erase their identity, and erase their very existence. Just stop with this nonsense. We all know you. We know your history.
This is why I'm always very strong when I say that until us as a people, black people, reach a point where we can control most of the things that we have within the community, we are still struggling, especially when it comes to like education, because it's the most important thing that moves the world. When you are educated, you make better decisions, you kind of move in the world in a different way. Like for the setting of the African education, right? We are told that from a young age, brainwashed literally, that everything that we have was given to us. We don't really study things that make us or empower us to believe that we had these things, we invented these things, we actually owned these things. Like, we don't. So these people know that they can use their quote-unquote documents, or how they say democracy, in a fake way, change history, write the wrong kind of history to make themselves look good. Like, now, why are they hiding the history that they actually did? Why are you changing a picture of Martin Luther King with Elvin, a musician? Like, how is that even telling on history? Is it benefiting like black people, or it is something that is helping them look good at themselves? If you get what I mean. It's the same thing they do when they see a nation that is trying to fight for itself, like what they did in Haiti. I have a clip of a lady that was also explaining, what happened and what they did to change the constitution of Haiti, because it was a place where they were for the black people, and these people, or the white palm people, never wanted black people to have an independent state or a place. But yeah, guys, listen to what she had to say.
Haiti's mission is to create a land, a space where all black people who are in trouble anywhere in the world can come in and find refuge. So when you understand that, you also understand why any nation with this kind of mission in this white supremacy world that we're living in must be continuously under attack from every corner. That's normal. That's natural. And it is insane if you are an Haitian to make believe, or to tell yourself, that you're gonna go to your country and build a nice home and enjoy the sea on Sunday and, have a little fun, relax. I'm sorry. You should find another place where you should go do this. You cannot come and do this here. Because this here place is the center of the biggest war happening in this world. Because it does not have any one enemy. It has white supremacy as an enemy. And they are not asleep. They know, even if they kiss up with you, even if they sleep with you, they have identified you as their enemy, and they're gonna go after you. If they're kissing up on you, it means that you are in a position where they don't feel they can attack you openly now. If they're feeding you, you should know there's a lot of possibility that this food is poison. If you're drinking from them, you should know that there are great possibilities that there is something in this drink for you. But more than this, if we take a little look at the Constitution of this country, the first Constitution, the only valid Constitution, Constitution of 1805, states clearly, this land is the land for all black folks. States clearly, any black person landing here becomes automatically free and a citizen. States clearly, no white man has the right to buy property here or walk as master on this land.
That's free land.
Clearly. And this law, and now when you learn that Haiti is actually on its, I think we were at Constitution 38 or 39, I don't know how many constitutions we have since the Constitution of 1805. If you understand, and of course in most books, you will not find a copy of the Constitution of 1805. They will begin with the Constitution of 1807, even though they will have the Constitution of 1801, which is before Haiti's independence. But most people can never find a copy of 1805. But if you understand the mission of this country, then you also understand why this Constitution cannot be this readily available. With every constitution, they removed the mission of the country little by little. And it was 1915, during U.S. occupation.
Yes, ma'am. Tell them who your enemy is.
And the Marines encircled the Parliament at that time when they wanted to have this law removed from the books. They had already been manipulating several weeks already. Several new laws came in, removing this one, removing that one. But when they got to this law about white men, even this Parliament, which agreed with almost anything the U.S. asked. The U.S. asked to turn left, everybody turned left. Turn right, everybody turned right. But when they said we must remove this article, every parliamentary person said, not me, I don't want to be involved with this. I'm not here. So the U.S. Marines encircled the Parliament House, arrested all the Parliament folks, wrote the new decree to remove this law from the books, and passed it. Democratically, thank you.
White people have never forgiven Haiti for becoming free. The reason why it's so easy to attack Haiti, the reason why it's so easy for people to make up these crazy lies about Haitians, which, as many of you have seen, other fellow immigrant communities have found absolutely ridiculous and laughable in their own ways, is because Haiti was one of the biggest catalysts for fighting for liberation, for ending slavery, for abolition. I've talked about this on a couple of different videos that you guys can go watch, but Haiti still stands as a beacon of what it means to continually fight against Western countries, against what it means to fight against enslavement, what it means to be put in such a dangerous and psychologically disturbing position, but to still keep persisting and producing some of the most valiant, productive, brilliant people to this day. So of course Haiti is an easy target. Of course, Haiti is something that they want to bring down. Of course, they want to call Haitians dirty because they want you to believe that the fierceness that Haitians have had to use to protect themselves is savagery. They want you to believe that savagery looks like stopping somebody from colonizing you. They want you to believe that savagery is what happens whenever you don't allow for white people, whiteness, colonialism to overtake you. That is why they're attacking Haiti. It's not because Haitians are bad. It's not because Haitians are actually eating dogs, because let's be honest, we all know who would actually be eating the cats and the dogs, because the GOP has had plenty of their own folks come out as just casually murdering their own animals and there's been no outrage. This is the reason.
That's what people had to say. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on this situation. Like, should we let it slide? And the question is, like, why are they hiding? What are they hiding? And like, didn't they do those things? Like, they did those things. They really did. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for the subscribers, the super chats. You know, I really appreciate your time. It really means a lot. Thanks. I'll see you in another video.